This just came in. SCOTUS rules in favor of straight woman against gays in work discrimination case. Paywall, but I can get around that with my elite hacker skills. Okay. We did it. Supreme Court poised to rule for straight woman in discrimination case. Justices across the ideological spectrum, lawyers on both sides agreed that an appeals court erred in requiring members of majority groups to meet a heightened burden. Give me the deets! A suit filed by a straight woman who lost positions to gay workers twice. The case comes 2 years after Supreme Court struck down race-conscious admissions programs. The court seemed likely to issue a brief and perhaps unanimous decision in favor of the woman. Okay. So what was like the details? Miss Ames worked for the Ohio Department of Youth Services, which oversees part of the state's, oh, there we go, juvenile correction system. After a decade there, in 2014, she became the administrator of a program addressing prison. 5 years later, she applied for a promotion. Her supervisors turned her down, saying she lacked vision and leadership skills, eventually giving the position to a gay woman who'd been at the department for a shorter time, and unlike Miss Ames, lacked a college degree. Not long after denying her the new position, her supervisor removed her from her existing job, telling her they had concerns about her leadership, offering her a demotion that came with a substantial pay cut. She was replaced by a gay man with less seniority. I don't know. This doesn't necessarily seem like a win for conservatives. This just kind of seems like a standard employment discrimination case that's just a little bit more complicated because it's running into like an intersectional. So she sucked at her job and got mad that a gay did it better. Are you illiterate? Go back to school. What the fuck are you talking about? Nowhere does it say that. Crybaby shit? It's not crybaby shit. Based on the facts of the case that were being provided, it seems like she might have had a legitimate case. I don't know. What do you... It's... People quick to judge us straight? No kidding. Y'all are such ideologues. Use your brains and think for one. Yeah, no kidding. People are just looking for the instant bad guy. She didn't have a case. She lacked leadership. Oh my God. What do you think managers say to women who they demote? What do you think like the number one thing that you would tell a woman to... Like, you people are crazy. There's no proof they demoted her because she's straight. They didn't say that. Okay, wait. Okay. You guys actually need to fucking pay attention. You're going to give me a damn aneurysm, okay? Don't contribute unless you've listened. You're only confirming my very negative... You're going to turn me into a misanthrope, okay? They didn't say that. You're making a shit ton of assumptions for no reason. Your partiality is the exact same partiality that conservatives use when making their own snap judgments. You think you're better than them just because you lucked out? Rationality is a process, not an attribute. I don't think there's really anything that we can say about this. It seems like it's just a boring procedural ruling. We can criticize the article for using identity to get clicks. It's not identity to get clicks. It's literally a workplace discrimination based on identity like thing. That's what it's about. That's not about clicks. That's reporting on the facts of the case. Oh. She's making the argument that it was on sexual orientation grounds. Okay. She's also making the argument that it was on her being a woman, but the only question the Supreme Court had agreed to decide, Justice Kagan said, is whether a majority group plaintiff has to show something more than a minority group plaintiff here, whether a straight person has to show more than a gay person. Obviously not. Can you imagine the legal precedent it would set if that wasn't the case? If the standards that we hold people to when judging whether or not workplace discrimination based on protected characteristics took place was different for a straight person versus a gay person? Of course they're going to be the same. Protected characteristics don't mean that if you're gay, you're protected from discrimination. It means if you're gay or straight. That's the point. If that's the question, obviously the answer is going to be no, there isn't a difference. I wouldn't want them to rule differently. That'd be crazy. That'd be a very, very wild legal precedent. Here's the explainer from the Vox article. That legally dubious and often impractical rule used in a handful of federal appeals courts is known as the background circumstances rule. It often requires members of a majority group to introduce evidence that is not demanded of minority plaintiffs. Yeah, that's just not... I don't think that's a good precedent to set, right? That's probably not like a good... The whole point of protected characteristics is that they're protected, not like that the minority version of those characteristics is the version that's protected. I think white employees should be protected from racial discrimination in hiring and firing as well. Obviously, in real life, in practice, that's not usually what takes place. But in the legal framework, it's still important to offer those protections equally. You don't want people writing down the law books like, okay, it's bad to discriminate based on race, but like, it's kind of okay with white people, like, it's not as bad. Like, that would obviously be kind of a wild thing to put down to paper. In short, managers suck? Yes. Yeah, we don't want DEI to be what right-wingers pretend it is. I can't talk for shit today, man. It's over for me. My career, it's never been this over. Sag. DEI mouth.